In this episode, I go over my top 5 picks for New Comic Book Day coming out next week, September 21st, 2022. What is going on, everybody? Justin here, aka No Good Comics, and welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I'm going over my top 5 picks for New Comic Book Day coming out next week, September 21st, 2022. So if you're here for that, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and if you're here in the premiere chat right now, thank you so much for hanging out with me here on this Thursday afternoon. I'm going to get right into the picks because, again, it's another great week for comic books. Kind of hard to condense my top 5, but I'm going to try it anyway. So starting in at number 5 on my list is this book right here, Batman One Bad Day, Two-Face, issue number 1 by Mariko Tamaki and Javier Fernandez. Now, if you've been following along, you know that they've already put out a One Bad Day Riddler, which was written by Tom King. Again, these are one-shots that they're putting out now, and I really enjoyed the Riddler storyline that he put out. So I'm going to give this a shot. That's why I wanted to make sure to include it towards the top of the list. A lot of these are, again, just kind of retelling of the stories based on whatever the character is that they're talking about or whatever the focus is on that character. But yeah, otherwise, to my knowledge anyways, I think these are kind of being rewritten, and telling their origin stories in a little bit of a different light. So anyways, that's going to be my number 5 pick of the week, Batman One Bad Day, Two-Face, issue number 1. Going into number 4, we're going to switch over to Marvel for a second and go with this book right here, Strange, issue number 6. Not just any Strange, not Doctor Strange, but we're talking about a different Sorcerer Supreme here. If you've been following along with this series, you know that we're talking about Clea. She has taken over the Sorcerer Supreme title, mantle, whatever you want to call it, and she is on she's focused on trying to get Doctor Strange back, because they did do a series prior to this that was called The Death of Doctor Strange, and it was all about how Doctor Strange had died. And so now that he's no longer alive, it's Clea who is now trying to figure out a way to revive him. And in the meantime, she's had a lot of different obstacles in her way. One of the big ones being the Harvestman, who we've recently met for the first time just within this series. And, knowing this now, we learned a little bit more about him, that he's not necessarily the enemy, but that he's just really the Sorcerer Supreme of death. And he won't let her bring Doctor Strange back, at least not that easily. So, in the meantime, there's a lot of other little bits of drama going on with this blasphemy cartel that's attacking the world as well. So she kind of has the new job as, even though she's a warlord, she's also the Sorcerer Supreme of Earth. So, you definitely see some fieriness to her that's really cool. And I just love the character. I love how they're writing Clea. So I never really read much about Clea prior to this until I got into this. And that, made me go back and read a bunch of Doctor Strange. So, but yeah, I'm really enjoying this series. If you haven't been reading it, I definitely recommend picking it up or jumping into it. Only 6 issues out now. Jed MacKay doing the writing for this, and Lee Garbett on the artwork here. And I will note, Jed MacKay, he's been writing Moon Knight over the past, 6 to 8 months or so. And we get a couple guest appearances that kind of mix in with Moon Knight. So, we've had over the past couple issues. So really cool to kind of see that tie in as well. But anyways, that's going to be my number 4 pick of the week, Strange, issue number 6. Number 3, I'm going with Batman, Superman, World's Finest, issue number 7. Yes, technically a second Batman title on my top 5. I feel like I've done this 2 or 3 weeks in a row, but there's just so many Batman titles, but I'm enjoying all of them, of course. So I'm happy to see that they are coming out with issue number 7 here. I know I had just talked about, last week or last episode, there was the Batman versus Robin series coming out, and that's also kind of a tie-in to what we're seeing here with this. So I wasn't quite sure if they were going to continue with where they left off here, because it was kind of a one-shot issue number 6. So I'm glad to see that, the story is continuing to pick up here, and because I've been loving it. This series has been so good. I think one of the big things that stand out to me most is that Dan Mora is the artist for this. He's been the interior and the cover that we're looking at here. So just love Dan Mora's work. He kills it every time. And then, of course, it is being written by Mark Waid, and I've been really enjoying his style of writing as well. I know obviously Mark Waid has been a legend in this field for a very long time. So anyways, I'm going to see where this goes from here. So that's going to be my number 3 pick of the week, Batman, Superman, World's Finest, issue number 7. Okay, jumping into number 2, I'm going with this book right here, Axe Judgment Day, issue number 5 by Kieran Gillen and Valerio Schiti. All right, look, this series has, I talk about this all the time over the past few months now that the series, or the event, I should say, has really kicked off. I love this event. It is so epic. It's so good. It's mixing all the things I love, including the X-Men, right? Everything that's been built up to what the X-Men has been written out to ever since Hickman had changed things around. The new creative team is just absolutely kicking butt with the new series. You guys know I've talked about this again and again on the channel with, Immortal X-Men and X-Men Red and all these other series that are out right now. So this Axe Judgment Day issue number 5, tying everything together along with the Eternals, along with the Avengers. It's just been insane, and I'm loving every minute of it. So I can't believe we're more than halfway there already. Only a few more issues after this, but of course, there are a bunch of tie-ins, so we're still getting plenty of content for this event. I was just talking to my buddy Jason. I cannot wait until they come out with some sort of omnibus or hardcover collector's edition of this, because I will definitely be buying this. So I noted before, Kieran Gillen doing the writing on this. He also was doing Eternals, which is great, tying all that in together, and I think he's writing Immortal X-Men as well. So a busy guy, and again, making it all work together. Really just, I'm loving it. So other than that, a ton of covers. I've been trying to buy cover A for each of these series that keep coming out. Mark Brooks has been doing all the different covers, including this one. So, and of course, I'm looking now, there's like a ton of other variants for this next one coming out. But so if you're wondering, there are 7 issues altogether that they'll be releasing, and we're only on 5 right now. So, still a lot of tie-ins to go, still plenty to read. Really looking forward to more of this. So that's going to be my number 2 pick of the week, Axe Judgment Day, issue number 5. All right, so before I get into my number 1 pick, I just want to let everybody know that normally with these videos, I put my cover buy of the week at the end of the video. And a cover buy is where I talk about just a book that I can't help but buying every week because just strictly because of the cover, whether I've been reading that series or not. So it's something I've been showing at the end of these videos. However, I want to kind of change it up a little bit, change around the content that I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is have my cover buy of the week, but it's going to come out later that week. So I'm not going to actually have the video. I'm not going to have the cover on these videos that you're watching now. So for example, normally I'd show my cover buy right now. I'm going to wait until Wednesday, September 21st, get the actual book, and then show it to you in a YouTube short or another video or something like that, and talk about my cover buy of the week there. So that's how I'll do things moving forward. But let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are of my cover buy section or segment that I've been doing. Do you guys like the cover buys that I show, or talk about? Do you guys have, cover buys? I always ask that question as well. So I just want to kind of separate the videos. I'm going to keep this one as strictly my top 5 picks that I'm looking forward to most for New Comic Book Day coming out next week. And then again, later I will release a video showing my actual cover buy of the week. So anyways, that's all I wanted to mention. Also just want to remind you, smash that like button if you haven't already. But let's get into my number 1 pick. Of course, number 1 on my list has got to go to Nightwing 96. Come on now, if you know me, you already know anytime this book is coming out, it's going to be at the top of my list because it is absolutely my favorite current read right now of all comics coming out. My absolutely number 1. So Tom Taylor, I don't need to say anymore, but I mean, Tom Taylor's just been killing it. I love what he does with this series, and he's just so consistent. I truly feel like every issue has just been a home run. It also helps that Redondo doing the artwork for a majority of these as well, which I just absolutely love his style. And he's even doing the cover here again. I know some of the series has jumped, Redondo and then some other artists as well, but for the most part, it's been all Bruno Redondo, and of course the cover A's as well. So I will be buying this one also. I like that they're doing the Brady Bunch style here. I'm not always a fan of like the sideways, covers, but I'm still, I like the idea of the Brady Bunch stuff. So I'm down for that. I said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Nightwing, just in general, if you never got into it before, you don't need to know much. You just jump into issue number 78. That's where Tom Taylor took over this particular series. And I will say, and I've said this in the past, I was not into Nightwing at all. Didn't know anything really about Nightwing prior to issue number 78. And I've just been in love with it ever since. So it's new reader friendly, whether you're reading DC stuff or not, doesn't matter. It's something I think it's for anybody. The humor is great. The relationships within it are great. The action is great. It's just it's well balanced all around and very relatable. A lot of great lessons involved as well. So Tom Taylor just always tugging at the heartstrings as he always does. So that is going to be my number one pick. I think it's pretty obvious. Like I said, if you've been following my channel, you already know Nightwing's going to be towards the top there. So that's Nightwing 96. I can't believe we're almost to 100. I hope they'll do something extra special for when they get to that. But anyways, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of this list? Are you going to be buying Nightwing? Have you been reading it recently? What are your thoughts on that? Otherwise, yeah, just let me know what you're picking up in general. Give me any recommendations that you might have. Thanks again to everybody in the Premiere Chat. As always, thanks for hanging out with me. Take a moment, smash that like button on your way out. And until next time, I will talk to you later.